So, I did it. I uninstalled Black Ops 4. Yes, finally today, or I guess late last night, I uninstalled it. And honestly, I feel like it's been a long time coming. I'm surprised that I didn't do this earlier. I'm done with it. Now again, this is something that's been a long time coming. A lot of people uninstalled Black Ops 4 months and months ago, and honestly just a couple months after the game, they were done with it. But I stuck around, I hung around with the game, and that was largely due to Blackout. I've made it a point time and time again that the reason I played Black Ops 4 as long as I did has been because of Blackout. I've really enjoyed that game mode, because my friends and I honestly stopped playing the multiplayer, for the most part at least, after about like the first month. And that wasn't even really just because we were done with it or because we hated it. We just kind of progressed over to Blackout just kind of on a whim, and we stuck there for the majority of the time for quite a while. Now as of recently, we've been back to more of the multiplayer of Black Ops 4, and it's just brought a lot of frustration for me. I've still played it here and there throughout, even though the majority of my time has been on Blackout, but the here and there was like, that was it. It was a few games, I was gone, I was done, I didn't want it anymore. But we've been back on a little bit recently. We've kind of got our burnout, I guess, from Blackout, which is understandable, because man, I got over 30 days probably played in Battle Royales over the last year and a half, and that's just talking about Fortnite and Blackout. I of course spent a little bit of time playing like Apex and PUBG, but not quite as much. But I've played a lot of BR, and I still enjoy it, could still play it and have fun with it, but it's just, I'm kind of looking for something else. And especially with Blackout, to where it just doesn't get the constant updates that, say, other Battle Royales do, like Fortnite. Even though I enjoy the gameplay tenfold, I mean massively more, it just doesn't have a lot of change, and the change has even slowed down since like some of the first updates came in. So it's been pretty stale and kind of the same thing for a while. And multiplayer has just been a shit show from the beginning. But like I said, we've been back to MP a little bit, and for the majority of the time, playing Heist. So Heist is one of the new game modes of BO4 this year, and honestly, I think it's a lot of fun. I think the concept of it is really cool. There's a lot of different ways you can play the game, but at the core of it, it's still on Black Ops 4, and there's still a lot of BS in Black Ops 4 that I can't stand. The gameplay of it, while it can be fun for a little bit, doesn't have that long-lasting appeal. And the thing with Black Ops 4 is there's just so many of the little things that are wrong they just add on to if you're not having fun with the gameplay. See, the thing with Treyarch games in the past is they've always been so good with gameplay and a lot of fun, and you just want to keep playing them and playing them because they're fun, and they've never really hit on a lot of those little things, or at least they've had those little things that have been wrong with the game, but you've been able to get past them because the game's fun. Black Ops 4 is not that way at all. The gameplay can be kind of fun, but not for a long period of time. And on top of that, there's still those little things, and probably more of those little things than there's ever been. Because I'm still getting these lag spikes in-game every 5-10 minutes or so that I've been talking about here and there in some videos about BO4. And they happen a lot like this one right here. And it happens constantly, and it's mainly an Xbox thing that they haven't fixed, probably because it's not PlayStation, they don't care, or they probably just don't care about the game entirely at this point. Still so many little bugs with pieces of equipment, certain things with weapons. We still have those long-ass Treyarch load times that have been there since Black Ops 3, and there's a lot more I can name, and they would probably sound like nitpicking, but when those little things get thrown onto not having fun with the game, it doesn't help the experience. And the thing with Black Ops 4 is there's nothing that really makes you want to come back. Like, if you don't enjoy the gameplay with Black Ops 4, there's nothing else for you to do. The complete opposite could be said about COD World War II, a game that I really don't like. I really don't like COD World War II. You guys know this. I was off and on with the game last year. I tried to come back to it a few different times, but I just kept leaving it because I didn't enjoy it. But there's one thing in that sentence. I kept coming back to it. And you know what kept me coming back to it? Constant content. Constant new things to do. Constant things they were changing with the game. Balance changes, weapon changes, new variants being added, new game modes being added. All this new stuff that would constantly change with World War II would be like, well, let's try it now. Let's give it a try now. See if anything changes. See if I enjoy this instead of this. Even though I knew I probably wouldn't play the game for more than an hour, it would get me to come back. Black Ops 4 doesn't have that. That's another one of those things that maybe you could mark as a little thing, at least in compared to like just the core of the gameplay, but it's such a big thing. It's even worse having aggravating gameplay or little bugs and glitches. It's even worse knowing that they're never going to get fixed. Nothing changes with Black Ops 4. The shop even barely changes. When they have their, 6-8 week long operations that they have, you'll get about 3 weeks or maybe 4 of those weeks if you're lucky throughout the operation, so about half of the weeks actually have some new content, but it's only a couple things that have to be paid for. That's the new content you get. You get some new stuff in the Battle Pass, but the Battle Pass has slowly gotten worse each and every operation. The stuff in the stream has gotten far worse than what it used to be, and a lot more of it has relied on reserves, which just brings us back to the BO3 supply drop system. So essentially, any new content that is in the game at all, which there isn't a lot of it, but the stuff that's there either has to be obtained by getting hella lucky or by spending money each and every week when they add stuff to the game, and even that stuff is just an outfit or more reserves. I think you guys see what I'm getting at. The core of the gameplay can be fun, at least for a little bit, but at least for me, it starts to wear on me, and I get really frustrated with a lot of things in the game. Then on top of that, there's all these little things that are never going to get fixed because the game doesn't change, and then there's no content to keep me coming back and keep giving it that chance. The only way to continue to play Black Ops 4 is if the gameplay is enjoyed by you, which is kind of a subjective thing because some people enjoy it, some people don't. For me, I can enjoy it sometimes, but it's not a lot of the time. In fact, really the only time it's enjoyable is when you're doing well, and I guess that can be said for a lot of video games, and especially Call of Duty, but I feel like it's even more so with Black Ops 4. Because when things go wrong in Black Ops 4, when things are going south, I mean, they go as south as they've ever gotten in Call of Duty. See, when things go bad in a Call of Duty, it's kind of like getting kicked in the nuts. It sucks. It's painful. You don't want to endure it anymore. But you gotta know, it's a temporary point in time. Things are probably going to get better. This is just a rough patch at the moment. In Black Ops 4, it's like getting kicked in the nuts with a steel boot that has spikes on it that's also on fire. You would rather die than ever endure anything like that again. See, in other CODs, when you're dying a lot or things are going south, things just aren't working, it's things like you're dying repeatedly to a camper or dying to this shotgun guy that's just, running around and you're getting too close to him and he's blasting you. And essentially that's the worst thing that can happen is you can just keep dying either to a player that's better than you or somebody that's just kind of playing like a douche. In Black Ops 4, you can get hit by a Seeker, hit by a 9-bang, trip over a mesh mine that you can't see, killed by a dog that somehow takes more bullets than the one that Riley does in Call of Duty Ghosts, trip over razor wire, get burned by a barricade, blown up by a war machine, stabbed with a commando lunge specter, get gravity spiked by ruin even though you get first 3 shots, lose all of your aim assist to a flashlight attachment on a shotgun, get killed by a tactical rifle whose bullets explode on impact, get killed in 1 bullet by the Maw, Griever, Argus, or any of the sniper rifles even though your time to kill with any other weapon has been increased in this game. The list goes on and on, but even if you surpass all of that, even if you get through every part of that, none of that happens in this game, and you're going off. Alright, you're going off. You're on a big streak. You're on a ruthless. You're on a relentless. You got the strike team called in. You got the attack chopper called in. And next up, you got the gunship called in. Guess what? 0, bitches. All that stuff is gone in the blink of an eye because someone played for 4 minutes doing nothing and were able to take your streaks. Now, doesn't that sound like a great gameplay experience? Like at this point, I don't know what more needs to be said. I could rant for a while. It all just sucks, man. I really want to like this game. I really want to like Black Ops 4. I want to like every Call of Duty. But Black Ops 4 has been a rough one. And it's to the point where I feel like it's just best now if I remove myself from the game. I really want to like it. I really do. The game has a lot of potential, and I think that's the one thing about this Call of Duty that hurts the most, is because it's got as much potential as any Call of Duty that we've seen thus far, prior to Modern Warfare coming up this year, that I think it's got as much potential as any to succeed and do really well. But it failed in so many departments. And I think on top of all the things that I talked about in this game, that's probably the one that hurts the most, is it could have been a total 180 and been way different. So, I uninstalled Black Ops 4. I've gotten tired of a lot of things in the game, and overall I felt it was just best to remove myself from the game. Is it going to get installed sometime within the next week? There's a decent shot. But until that point, I felt it was best to just step away from the game, and I kind of wanted to just come on and rant once again about the up and down year that has been Call of Duty Black Ops 4. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Anyway, down below in the comments, let me know your thoughts on Black Ops 4. Have you uninstalled it already? Did you even play it? Did you uninstall it back in November? Like I said, man, I love the franchise and I want Black Ops 4 to do really well, and that's probably why I'm going to be a petty little man and install it again in less than a week. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. I felt like ranting about Black Ops 4 today. Anyway, hopefully you guys somehow enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to smack the add a like button down below. If you're going to comment, subscribe button down below, as well as if you're not this videos, go live. Hopefully you guys have a good one. I will see you guys on another video. So long, everybody.